soon.
Good morning, everybody. It is 5:09, 9 past 5. That would make it 51 minutes before the hour of 6 o'clock. The Awake with Jake show is up and walking. We're walking this morning. September 11th, 2010, the 9th anniversary of 9/11. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. A whole bunch of stuff, local and national. And somewhere along the way, someone's going to get hit in the head. I got to tell you. It's raining out, by the way. In case you didn't know that. Anyway, our phone number, 591-8900. You wish to email me, you can, jake@WLSAM.com. You can text us here, 68683. Just put in WLSAM first and then your message. Or you can join our Facebook crowd. Just go to Facebook and then look up Jake Hartford Show. And there you go. So strap it down, buckle up. We're underway. Let's take a phone call, and then I'll tell you a little story. Paul in Arlington Heights. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Jake. Well, I'm back south of the Cheddar Curtain, so I'm calling from Arlington Heights. So, Jake, let's face it, being 9/11 here, that your show falls on this date, we must never forget what happened to us, Jake. You know, people, I'm sure, in the future are going to try to change history. They're going to make us as the bad guy. Let's face it, Jake, we were violated. We were hit below the belt. We cannot forget what happened to us on this date.
Well, you know, I was talking to my 17-year-old son yesterday because he would have been 8 years old at the time. Mm-hmm. And I asked him, I said, do you remember seeing that?" And he says, "Yeah," because he remembers coming in to our bedroom, my wife and I's our bedroom, and some of that stuff I hope he just blocks out of his mind. But anyway, he should have knocked first. But anyway, no, I'm just kidding. But he remembers coming in that morning because he was 8 years old, and we were watching on TV, and he really didn't know the meaning of much of what was happening because it was like a TV show to him.
Yeah, well, it's something like when Kennedy was assassinated. It's something you're never going to forget. I was doing a reset at a Dominick's store, and one of the ladies I was working with comes to me and she says, "Paul, I just got a cell phone call from my daughter. She says a plane hit the Trade Center in New York." And I'm thinking like a Piper Cub airplane. And then she goes, "Gosh, we heard of another plane." And then you come to realize what the heck happened. And I'm sitting there in the break room watching the Twin Towers come down. My God, I can't believe what I'm watching. I mean, I'm upset 10 years later. I'm upset I didn't have anyone lost there. I didn't have no relatives. I didn't have any fireman friends there. But Jesus, the waste of lives. Oh, God. Oh. I'm sorry, Jake. I mean,
well, you know what?
It's disturbing to me today, and to think that some of these idiots, it was our fault, we had it coming to us. Come on. What's wrong with you people?
This is not the way I really wanted to start the show today.
I know I'm not being, I know both me and you try to be saying that we can uplifting, and I know I'm not doing that, Jake. I apologize.
Nothing to apologize for, but as long as you said that, let me tell people what they should do. There are various shows on especially the cable news shows this weekend, where you can actually see about what happened, what it was all about, and especially for kids, who were too young back then and didn't really watch it. I mean, one of the cable channels is going to run, I think, a 2-hour deal where it's just the coverage, just the way it happened. You're just going to see that. There's another show this afternoon, I think, on the History Channel. It's a 2-hour show. It talks about the conspiracy theories, and I guess it was 2005. Popular Mechanics. They went and they tried to debunk all those stupid conspiracy theories. That's a very interesting show. And there's another one about how the planes were, the whole system came to a halt. And there's a lot of good stuff out there. And I urge people to look at it because I had some stuff I've saved, and I looked at it the other day. And you forget what it's about. We kind of say, "Oh yeah, 3,000 lives, this and that," but you see the buildings coming down right there. You see the people that responded, lost their lives. The 343 firemen, over 100 police officers, and then some of the stories of people just helping people get out of the buildings. I mean, you got to see it because 9 years later now, it's almost like, yeah, this and that, but it was something.
Yeah, you don't want to have forgotten true heroes. You can't forget those people, Jake. All right, one last thing on a lighter note, okay? Jake, yesterday I was off from work, so, while I'm off from work, sometimes I watch more educational shows on television, so I watched yesterday the Jerry Springer show, the first hour, and then the second hour, and on both hours of the show, they had a commercial on, so for your more progressive or liberal friends, I found the perfect Christmas present for them. If you're not cheap like me, for $19.95, you can buy a Chia Obama. It's a chia plant. It's the bust of President Obama. You put the seeds on the top of his head, you add the water, and the chia plant grows off the top of his head.
I feel sorry for the guy who invented that, who produced those, because this has been around now for 2 years. And remember the controversy? I think he got it into one of the local chain drugstores. Was either with Walgreens or CVS.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he was going to sell it there, and then people got upset, and he had to yank it off the shelves.
Well, people are probably forgetting this because it's back on the air being advertised.
He's selling them a few at a time until people see it and get upset, and he's got to pull them again.
All right. Well, Jake, let me end it this way. God bless America.
I agree with that. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Jake. Bye-bye.
Let's go to Melrose Park. Jill in Melrose Park. Good morning, Jill.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
Listen, on this day, 9 years ago, changed my life, and I'm not from New York. I'm from Chicago, land area. But I want to tell you, I had to leave work. I had to go and pick up my kids from school, take them out of school, come home, and I couldn't work for a week. I was totally paralyzed. All I could do was watch the TV. 1 minute I was yelling and screaming. The next minute I was crying. It was a terrible emotional experience. And at the very time, soon after, I used to be Democrat. I turned to be Republican after that. Because our national security is number one. It doesn't matter about health care if you're all blown up in a mushroom cloud. You know what I mean?
We have events like this, and they're very important for a while, and then we kind of go back to our regular daily life.
No.
And but that's the way it happens, and things that bother you, but you think are important until, go back and look at this. And again, I urge people, look at the shows this weekend. Actually,
they should be showing those shows every night. You remember in the old days when we didn't have TV 24 hours a day, and they would play the national anthem and show the flag at like 3 o'clock in the morning? They should be showing this every night to remind people.
All right. Thank you, Jill.
Bye.
591-8900 is the phone number. It's 518. Back after this on WOS.
Awake with Jake. Jake Hartford, 890 AM, WLS.